My name is Chief Orville Looking Horse, and I live on the Cheyenne River Reservation, and that's where we as a nation have always been like the center of our spirituality. And today I am the 19th generation, the keeper of the sacred pipe, the sacred bundle. Since the age of 12 years old, I became the sacred bundle keeper because my grandmother, she passed on, made her spiritual journey on that time I was 12 years old. So I am a Lakota. We have as the Great Sioux Nation, we are the Dakota Nakota Oyate. And I speak a very fluent Lakota speaker since I was raised by my grandparents. They taught me how to speak the Lakota language, and being raised as a traditional person. That's we as medicine people, the spiritual leaders, we have to maintain a certain way of life here upon the earth. And so there's a lot of wope laws that came with our ceremonies. So today, that still is the way it is for me. And I stay in ceremony and help many people of the world. And today I talk about the prophecy of the white buffalo calf woman called Tesami. So as a sacred bundle keeper, we have like they all say, there's two stories, I guess two sides of every story, because there's a written history about our people, the Great Sioux Nation, and we call ourselves Lakota, Dakota, Nakota, means peace, spiritual people. So that's the way I was brought. And I want to say that today, it's a great honor to speak with you all, because we as Oyate, the people, our Dakota territory is a very large Dakota territory. And this is our spiritual way of life, the environment and the way that we live. So it's a very spiritual from the time we were born, and our lifestyle is very different through our spiritual ways. So I want to say that there's a history, the written history that we were forced to learn, and I guess that's the way it is today. Went to boarding school, and so there's a lot of stories that came from boarding school till today. But it just seems like time really went very quickly, fast world that we're living in. Because 100 years ago, not even 100 years ago, even less than that, when I was very young, our roads were dirt roads, and we haul water. We lived in a log cabin, and our floor was dirt floor and log cabin, and we haul water. We haul our wood, and we prepare way ahead, the way we live through our medicine way. And our health is very, I guess, it's, it's a very, I guess, beautiful life, because there was no big sickness. Maybe some cold, people have cold in the winter time, or, the sickness was not, and that's part of our prophecies that someday we'll see that. And today, that's what we speak about, the prophecy of the white buffalo calf woman and her prophecy. And today, there's a lot of sickness. So that's, I'm very interested in communicating to the people of the world, because I'm a traditional medicine person, that we have our ways and our medicine, but we have to work with people of the world today. And we have to pray with people of the world today. So it's very important to, I never thought I was going to leave the reservation, but today I do travel to speak different places. So I just living on a reservation, and that's our, there's so much to talk about, because when I was very young, the community that I live in, Greengrass, is it was not on the map, and just a lot of community people and dirt roads. But today, it's everything is from the GPS. You can see everything, and Greengrass is on the map. And I want to say that today there's great change from just within 50 years, how it changed so much like that. I want to say a few words about the environment, because I'm a Lakota fluent speaker, and I was taught by the elders when, as a being raised by my grandparents and the elders, that our language is so important to our life. And when I was very young, the elders told me not to use foul language, because our language is sacred, Lakota language. So when you speak, then you have to watch your tongue, so it doesn't affect the environment. So when you speak to, you're speaking to the people or the surrounding, but you're talking to the Creator too. because every day is a great mystery. That's what they say in our traditional way. And our environment that we're living is very, I guess, as a young boy, I was taught to really walk with honor and respect, and following our traditional or following our woke. Woke means the laws of nature. So I grew up respecting Mother Earth and listen to leaders talk about that even the blade of grass has a spirit. And in our ceremonies, we talk about the energy, the walk, the sacred energy. So as a young boy, I was really respectful, speaking the our sacred language. There's no foul language in there. That every morning we have to get up with a good mind. Chawachin washte. So the elders they would say, Chawachin kiktapo wana apet yukilewakan. Get up with a good mind. Today is a sacred day. Always reminding. And the elders always say, we're going to keep everything reminding you. Because we as human beings, we forget about the way our life should be. You have many grandma, you have many grandpa. Because the community, our community is raised, the community raised that child, Wakanja. And they would tell me, you're raised by the people, and the people would know you. So I really have to respect my place. And our work, our laws about the house that you wish by is very, I guess, in our, before we had log cabins, we had our teepee. And in a teepee, everybody has their place. And the teepee belongs to the women. The man is the provider. But when a child is born, and it has to be born in a teepee, the teepee is round and it's like that at the top. But it's a vortex to the Great Spirit. Wakantanka. It comes down and bless the sacred ground. The walk on the sun is a spirit. So we have the star knowledge that was taught when we were young. I learned that star knowledge when I was very young. And we would sit and look at the stars, talk about the stars and the pattern of the stars upon Mother Earth as a reflection. So when a child is born, used to tell us that the child is born in a sacred way, and born in teepee, and That's where I learned the word home birth. Tiata Wichat Humpi is a very, I guess it's a ceremony that all families, they have to know about the TB and the energy that comes with that. So a child is born and the father and the mother has to be there because the walk of the laws of the TB. And that's where a child is born. So when a child is born, then we'll have a midwife that delivers and help bring the child. Wakanja, Wakan Yeja, sacred being, Wakan Yeja. It's a spirit that come. And so our teachings go back to the star knowledge when a child is born. We come from the Wichakpi Wakan, the sacred stars. It's not like a UFO. That's a ceremonial way to look at the stars. And we have stories for everything. And when a child is born, then there's that ceremony there. The placenta and all the midwife takes care of that baby. And there's a teaching there that you can't cut that cord fast. But there's a time where you pray on that and cut it. So it's very important that to life, the environment, while the child comes to the spirit world, in this world that we live. Then the midwife gives a baby, bebela, they call it, to the mother. And the mother nurses the baby. And then, so the father was given the placenta to bury that placenta close to where that child is born. So no matter where this person goes now in the world, the four directions they travel, then when we get done with this life, we are buried back to close to that placenta, because that's our territory. So the father was given that position, and then to take care of that ceremony. And to know that this place that we walk on has everything that is very valuable to our health and well-being. But it has to be pure, and there's no bad feelings or no energy. When we conduct a ceremony, then the women under moon cannot participate. In fact, in our camp, there's a camp called Ishnati. Ishnati is like women that live uh, away from the camp, the women on the moon. They were taken care of, so it doesn't affect the camp or the environment. It's all taken care of in a spiritual way. It's not bad for the women to go through that, but there's a way to take care of that, and I can't talk about that because the women take care of that. And our lifestyle is very they say a sacred way of life. That's a makakana oyate, makakana nipi. We live and take only what we need, so we don't abuse. So there's a teaching that the first stage is being a sacred child. Then the second stage is becoming age ceremony at the age of 12 years old. That's what I went through when I became the sacred bondo keeper. Yeah. The elders, they talked to me for 4 days. The teachings, how to live in this life. And then when we get done with this life, then we go into the next life. They say that everything is a clockwise motion here. We do our ceremonies in a clockwise motion. So when a baby is born, then sometimes the baby stays up at night. Then the grandma's when she talks about it, and they say that we're going to do that ceremony for that baby, so that baby can sleep at night, because we have to respect the day. Apetu luta on Hahapitro, the night, because everything has its place. Everything that we know of, and we have to respect all things. So when a child is born, yeah, after a child is born, then when that child stays up all night, then they have to do that ceremony to there's a ceremony, and after the ceremony, that the baby sleeps at night, stays up in daytime, because we have to respect that life. We work with the supernatural in our ceremonies, and that's the way we know everything. But you have to respect the thunder beings, Wakinoyate. So we have ceremonies for that. Then we have our balance of life. So when we live this life here, our mind has to be good. Our mind is a leader cannot abuse the mind, the body. So you can't, today, no, we don't, that the way that the Great Spirit gave us, the way both the calf woman brought that sacred pipe. We use that pipe in the ceremony. We use a chanshasha. Chanshasha hai wakan. Un chanupa kile ya woche ke galam. We only use that red willow tobacco in the sacred chanupa, the sacred pipe, because the environment that we are living in, whatever you put into your body, it has to come from a medicine. For 19 generations, we've been, our elders have been using that chanshasha, the red willow. And there was no, there was no cancer back then. And today, if we still use our red willow, chanupa, and when we tell the people that when you mix when you put tobacco, like we have to carry that tobacco and that red willow tobacco, we pray on the heel, we pray someplace. We use that red willow tobacco and it goes back to the Ochimaka. It's natural. But today, the tobacco that you use, they exploit that tobacco. It harms the environment. So when we pray, we tell people, don't use that loose bottle tobacco. It's going to harm the environment. So everything that we do in our ceremonial life has to be come from spirit. But if you buy something, and that's what I tell people, 80% of our food, our medicine, come from indigenous people. The problem is when you sell, it becomes a product to sell. It's going to hurt the environment. So people, we use only our prayer. It's very simple life, but it's powerful. Praying with our sacred pipe, the chanupa. And there's a lot of meaning to it. But when the white buffalo calf woman, she brought the pipe, she's told the people, and oyate kile, and kawo pre kile wakan, and oichala, daha, wayankapik. The white buffalo calf woman, she brought the sacred pipe. She told the people, only the good shall see the pipe. The bad should not even see it or touch it. It's a way of life here. In our prophecy, after she brought the sacred pipe, she told the people that I shall return someday once again and stand upon Mother Earth as a white buffalo calf. Great changes shall come. Mother Earth will be sick and has a fever, and the white animals shall be born. That's our prophecy today. It was told us 19 generations ago, but it's always been, I never thought when I was 12 years old that the prophecy would come true as of today. We are seeing since 1994, almost every year, a white buffalo calf was born, or a white animal was born someplace in the whole world. And it's true because it came from spirit in our ceremonies. So 1996, the first World Peace and Prayer Day, we made a statement saying, we are at the crossroads, either be faced with a lot of chaos, disasters, global disasters. We're going to see a great change with the environment, earthquakes, volcanoes where it never happened before. We're going to see the winds are going to get stronger. We're going to see a lot of sickness and viruses because the environment, the changes that we'll be going through. It's going to hurt and affect all families. And 1994, that was 96, and the first World Peace and Prayer Day. We told us that from this day on, there's not going to be no more honorable wars. It's all about greed and money. Bring tears to people's eyes. A lot of hatred, anger. We are spiritual people. And we know that we are at the crossroads. But we as the human beings, we know that we're the only ones that is destroying the environment. But it's going to take us as human beings to unite as nations, many nations all over the world, to go back to our spiritual ways and unite spiritually. That's the only way we must teach our children. It can be done. So I know that we are our ways, once again, getting up with a good mind and walking upon Mother Earth in a sacred manner. That everything we shall respect all things. And we, as a spiritual people, but if we do this through prayer, the Great Spirit is going to meet us halfway. We know because we come from ceremonies. Oh, one of the elders said that, or might be other people too, that said that if the people lead, the leaders would follow. Because in our prophecy, it says that we're going to see a lot of false prophets. We're going to see false leaders. And the young people would stand up during that time. And that we see today. So we always stand in prayer through a good time or hard time. That we always have to maintain that balance, and that balance is always here. But one thing that we always forget is to give thanks. No matter how difficult times are, we still have to give thanks. Upila. That because everything that we do, affects the heart, the good or bad, and everything that affects the heart. And there's so much that we are faced with in the world today. There's a lot of history, the past, and my who I think was really to me at the time, it was Crazy Horse. Crazy Horse is a very spiritual person, and he stood up because he doesn't want to sign the treaty, because he said that we are spiritual people. Now I think about Crazy Horse as one of the greatest environmentalists, because he said we can't destroy or sell Mother Earth. No, that's a way of life that's so sacred to protect. And his last dream of Crazy Horse, he told the people that, I always stood up, and I never showed my feelings, but what I saw in that dream was that in the future, it was so bad in this way of life here. And there's so much abuse. It was so bad that, disrespect. And he said, I saw what I saw, it brought tears to my eyes. Then it said, even got worse. Then, so at the end, he said, I see all nations stand under the sacred tree. In our spiritual ceremonies, the sacred tree of life is that water. The water that in our body, even our heart, looks like a tree. And in our ceremonies, we go back to Ejfa, the Black Hills, South Dakota, to talk about the heart of Mother Earth. And we do ceremonies throughout the whole 4 years, or every year, the 4 seasons. So that in the springtime, we do that ceremony to welcome the thunder ceremony, to pray to the Wakionyate, the thunder beings, to give us a good life here, to bless our food and our medicine. So we have to put that ceremony through on March 21st. And then the next one is June. That's when we went back to our sacred sites again. So every 4 seasons, we go back to our sacred sites, and because that's our woe près de law of nature. That the cycle of life that we live in has to always going. Even the tree knows it. And that's our winter count, isn't a tree, the circles. Our winter count is in our hair. That's why we grow our hair, because if you go ceremony, they look at your hair, and they know how you live your life. You have respect for the environment, the people. They know everything about you. So from that satellite view, the Black Hills shapes like a open heart. All the rivers and creeks and streams looks like a tree. like the blood vessels. Then from the satellite view, you look at the Kea, the turtle island, Kea Makoche, the turtle island. And you look at all the rivers and creeks and streams goes into the Mississippi and down towards New Orleans and into the big water. So it's in our ceremonies here that we have to pray to that water of life. In Crazy Horse Dream, he said that someday all nations would unite and pray for the spirit of that tree. And that's the water. So water is very important to us right now. And that's why we went to Standing Rock. And we say, Maniwi Chawani, water is life. And then, but it's everywhere. And the years to come, it's not good because a lot of our people are not respecting that water. We're not doing that blessing with that water. And we're teaching the young people to give tobacco to the water and pray with that water, or the food that you put in your body, because everything that you put in your body is a medicine. You have to pray with it. Where to us, we don't do that, and that's going to cause some kind of sickness. So we grew up in our traditional medicine that we have to go back to our food. Our DNA, our blood is used to that food, and our DNA is used to that water. So, that those are things that I want to share with the people, because today we talk about the environment and how important it is, but we need to be the ones that step up to do our share. So if we teach that, then it'll be a lot better. Even in your home, if you pray with that food, you can feel that home. So we do house blessings, and we pray in our home. So spiritual people can feel that when you come to your home. But if you have anger or bad feelings, it's a sickness. In our way, in a family hoop, when one person is sick, it affects the whole family. So I want to say like that. Well, I know that all of us are trying our best to be respectful for Mother Earth and the environment, and we are told that always to take care of, not to be I guess in our mind, in our heart, that you have to let go of all the bad feelings that is controlling you, or anyway, you let it go to the four winds when you pray, that everything good would come back in a good way. So those are teachings, everyday life, that part of this way of life. Oh, watch day. I am ready to go back to ceremonies again, but I want to say a prayer with all of you. And I have to put some medicine through ceremony again. But I want to say a prayer to or all of us need prayers every day. And when we pray, we always say we pray from the heart. And I want to say prayer because the prayer has a lot of energy that affects all people and the environment. Wakantaka, what apetu waka. Apetu kele e waka on oyate na wichonikte. Dona hechakaku japi. Dona hecha wayaza kapi. Dona hecha apetu kele ioti ekiapi. Na chanteshi japi. Wakantaka apetu kele lawashte na wokekte. Dona hecha makak necha wachuniapi na oyate na wichonikte. Oyate hecha makak na chokoyapi khak shiuchashe no koyapi na wichonikte. Dona hecha ke wichoni hecha wayankapi kha oyate hecha makak na zani pikte. Na apetu kele hecha wakantaka. Hecha apetu kele hecha mashamalo hecha ke wachikukaga pincha che oyate na zani hecha kukate ke hecha chante wash age ke mani pikte. Dona hecha ke wachikukaga pinache. Na hecha was na hecha na hoiwe. Hecha yoti onke apincha hecha makak na hecha na wukuncha hecha ke oyate na wachiku zani pikte. Hecha wakantaka unshlamala. Unshmala. Omadakwas.